Are you merely a human being, or is there a divine potential waiting to be awakened within the depths of your being? In this captivating video, we will delve into Neville Goddard's fascinating lecture, God Became Man, and Man Became God. We will discover how intriguing passages from the scriptures, such as Psalm 82, reveal that we are much more than we imagine. Challenge your beliefs and open your mind to the idea of becoming an extension of the divine. This perspective will radically transform your view of yourself and the world around you. Join us on this inspiring quest for a deeper understanding of your true essence. Stay until the end to experience this transformative journey that will change your life. If you are ready to question your beliefs and feel inspired, don't forget to leave a like and share this video with other seekers of wisdom. Prepare to uncover the divine potential that lies within you. We have been told that God became man so that man could become God. You might think it is the man that God transformed into, but I assure you that you are the God who became man so that man can become you. My visions, which align perfectly with the scriptures, are accurate, and I boldly affirm that what I have just said is an undeniable truth. In Psalm 82, we are the speakers ourselves, addressing our own being, proclaiming, I said, you are gods, children of the Most High, all of you. Nevertheless, you shall die like men and fall like one of the princes. We are the children of the Most High, and we and our Creator are one, although at this moment we find ourselves immersed in a world of men. We were promised that our posterity would serve us and speak of the Lord who created us. You and I truly became human beings so that humanity could rise and become spirit, just as we are. Invert your thinking, consider yourself as God, and you will experience a completely different perspective on what it means to become man. Although certain passages in the scriptures may seem enigmatic at first glance, their profound meaning will be revealed at the appropriate time. Everything we did was driven by the purest love, which is why we became man and woman to create and glorify our creations. We had to completely forget our true selves to assume our creation and elevate it to our level. Psalm 22 begins with our heart-wrenching cry of despair, my God, why have you forsaken me?" but culminates in an apotheotic triumph. Our posterity will serve us, and men will speak of the Lord to generations to come, proclaiming His greatness to those yet unborn. This does not refer to another generation in the conventional sense, but to the gods who have not yet discovered that they descended, assuming human nature. The cosmic drama begins with the crucifixion, when God unites with man, and concludes with the resurrection, when God elevates man to His divine level. We will all be raised to this sublime level because we are the gods who descended. Psalm 82 opens with these words, God has taken His place in the divine council, in the midst of the gods, He pronounces judgment, saying, you are gods, children of the Most High, all of you. Nevertheless, you shall die like men and fall as one, O princes. Love watches attentively and contemplates what man has done, is doing, and is capable of doing, transforming the nature we assumed and elevating it to a level of infinite love. The crucifixion did not occur in the year 1 after Christ, but at the very beginning of time. The Bible begins with the words, in the beginning, God, and the word translated as God is Elohim, which represents a unity composed of many. We are the gods who created the heavens and the earth. Many years ago, I relived that transcendental event, thus fulfilling Psalm 42. Chronologically, this psalm seems to have taken place around 1,000 years before Christ, but I vividly remember when I became man upon hearing a voice arising from the depths of my soul, firmly proclaiming, I am God. In the very act of awakening, I began to generate myself in space and time. Then, I felt irresistibly drawn to this crucifixion. My hands were strong, my feet vortices, my side an impregnable fortress, and my head an impenetrable fortification. Like an epic tale, life itself merged with a man. It was not a man passively waiting for life, I was life itself entering into man. I assumed upon myself the cross, which is man. To carry it and elevate it to the level of love, no matter how fearsome it may seem, the crucial point is that it was done with love and must be brought to the level of the purest love. 139 days after my awakening, I rose triumphantly from my tomb, and the only begotten Son of God, David, revealed himself to me as his father. I did not become the father at that precise moment, I have always been the father, but I also descended upon my cross, which is man, to elevate him to the sublime level of divine fatherhood. Now, in verse 10 of Psalm 22, we read, "Deliver my soul from the power of the dog." In the King James Version, the Hebrew word akita is translated as my darling, and in the Revised Standard Version, this same word appears for the first time in Genesis 22 verse 2 and 16, translated as my only son. This is the profound meaning of the word akita in Hebrew. Thus, we can see that the psalmist was imploring the deliverance of his only son from the power of the dog. In Psalm 16, David speaks, saying, "You will not abandon my soul to Sheol." Here, the word translated as Sheol means discovery, revelation, removing the cover. In other words, do not leave me uncovered but reveal me, so that I, in turn, may reveal you. The Father will never be known except through his Son, who must be discovered. On the night I fulfilled the statement of delivering my only son from the power of the dog, I was possessed by a vision of two very handsome men standing beside me. They were about 40 years old, looking at my son, a boy of about 12 or 13. I reminded them of David's victory over Goliath, pointing to his severed head on a table in front of me, leaning against an open door. My son was observing a pastoral scene while I sat at his right hand, fulfilling the affirmation, "We are the gods who assumed human form, now playing all the roles in the world." In time, we will assume the role we are currently playing towards our true self, which is God the Father. Before descending, we were the Elohim who deliberately created the work. Then, we entered into our creation to redeem it. Although this may seem arrogant, I know what I am talking about. Seize the opportunity. The editor of the Biblical Encyclopedia, one of the most erudite critics of the Bible, questioned how God could have taken his place in the divine assembly. However, I know that when we agreed to descend and dream together, the one made of many proclaimed, "I said, you are gods, children of the Most High, all of you. Nevertheless, you shall die like men and fall as one, O princes." We are all princes, and man has completely inverted it today. The journey of self-discovery and the realization of our divine nature is a profound and transformative one. It requires a willingness to question our long-held beliefs, to challenge the limitations we have placed upon ourselves, and to embrace a new perspective on who we truly are. As we delve deeper into the teachings of Neville Goddard and the wisdom of the Scriptures, we begin to see that the story of God becoming man and man becoming God is not just a metaphorical tale, but a powerful truth that lies at the core of our being. In a prophetic book, there is talk of increasingly advanced and sophisticated mechanisms. Instead of tilling the earth with a hoe, man now employs a tractor. Rather than using a wheelbarrow, we utilize a rocket to journey to the moon. Humanity is creating ever more imposing machines, yet no one speaks of a more noble humanity. No one writes about that being who descended to man and cannot return until born from above. No one mentions that being who will emerge from his mortal skull and carry man with him in his ascent. Instead, they focus on the creation of increasingly grandiose mechanisms. However, I narrate to you the eternal story, the I am assumed mortality. I am the God who now bears your mortal form. The union is so complete that I experience the human in all its intensity, and I will carry this human feeling back to the level of the purest love. We are the gods who descended to individualize ourselves, to experience the singularity of existence. What will we do tomorrow? I do not know with certainty. Will we descend again to another element of the animal world, or will it be the vegetable or mineral world that we redeem? We have the obligation to redeem everything we have created, for we cannot leave anything unredeemed. As Tennyson expressed in his poem titled The Plan, be patient. Our playwright will show in some fifth act what this wild drama means. I, the playwright of this challenging drama, will not be satisfied with redeeming only one section. All of creation must be redeemed, without exception. This has been a monumental challenge, but God has accomplished it, as narrated at the end of this marvelous story. Posterity will serve him, and men will speak of the Lord in generations to come, proclaiming that he did it, that he fulfilled his promise. You are infinitely greater than you imagine. You and I have been together in eternity, which stretches endlessly, that which cannot endure forever ceases to exist when God stops imagining it. but you and I are eternal beings who descended in time. As Blake affirmed, we build mansions in eternity amidst these ruins of time. Nothing that has happened, is happening, or will happen is out of order. Everything is in perfect balance. Recently, the Pope declared that a man should not go against his conscience, but that his conscience should be educated to conform to the doctrine of the Church. Of all the nonsense heard in the world, here we have a man who sets himself up as the absolute criterion of right and wrong. Let us turn to the Scriptures, for they have nothing to do with this outer world of death. In the beginning, we created the bull, the mule, the homosexual prostitute, and the lesbian. We made everything because we love. So why, at the end of the drama, should two men look at my only begotten Son with such lust, to fulfill verse 20 of Psalm 22, deliver my only son from the power of the dog, the power of the male temple prostitute? Because that is what the word dog means in this context. As I observed the lustful look in their eyes, I remember David's victorious gaze upon the giant, whose head, completely severed from the body, lay upon a table before me. Everything is in perfect order. Those men had to be there when I broke the tomb, for I could not leave my only son in this world of death. Instead, I will take him with me, being a man after my own heart. David fulfilled all my desires. My son played all the roles I portrayed while wearing the mask of man. I would not leave my beloved in this world of death, so I broke the tomb and resurrected him, having redeemed him. Now, he bears my heavenly state where silence is shared wisdom. I urge you not to condemn anyone, no matter what they have done, are doing, or will do. Every role was created by the gods who descended and assumed human nature to play them all. This was our crucifixion. I vividly remember the night I led the procession to the house of God. I still feel the ecstasy when I became the mighty, the anointed David, the great Star of David, and was absorbed, carrying my cross of man. Now, like Paul, I teach that Christ is the power and wisdom of imagination, crucified. Christ is now in you because he has become one with the body you wear. You will remember who you truly are when you restart the drama of the Scriptures. If you truly long to awaken, reflect deeply on what I have shared with you. I am not flattering you, you and I are the gods who descended. We are no less than we were before we came, we are greater for having decided and redeemed this section of creation called man. But we cannot leave any section unredeemed. We have demonstrated that we can come into the world, overcome death, and redeem all that we have created. At the right moment, we create every state, love it at the instant of creation, and will touch every state before we depart. The essence of all, our eternal beloved called David, calls us Father. You will carry him with you, for he is your only begotten Son who was revealed to you. David died and was buried, but you will not leave him in the world of death. You will break the shell with a terrible explosion, as if the skull burst open, and David, buried there, will be set free to reveal himself to you. Then, at the right moment, you will carry him back to the heavenly sphere, to the eternal and enduring state of the redeemed. Now, let us enter into contemplative silence.